Let's talk about multiplication of decimals. So what if I have 23.2 times 15.025? Whenever we multiply anything with decimals, you do not have to line up the decimals. What I encourage is I pick the number that has the most digits. And in this case here, this does. And I put it on top. And then I put the next one underneath it. Now you do have to line the digits up. That's important. The digits need to line up. So my next thing is there's a format in order to do it. You notice this 2 is in the first column. This 2 here is in the first column. So now I'm going to say 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. 2 times that 0. 2 times that 5, again, is 10, carry the 1. 2 times that 1 plus 1 is 3. All right. Let me erase some of this because I don't want it to be a mess when we do the next one. All right, whoops. Bring that 2 back. Put it there. Now, let's look at the second placement here, the 3. So that means I need to put a 0 here so I can start here. So now I'm going to say 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1 is 4. Now let's clean this up a little bit. Erase. There we go. Okay. Now let me let's do this one. All right, now we're in the third column, so I need to make sure and scoot over. That way I start right here. Now I have 2 times 5 is 10, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. 2 times 0. 2 times 5 is 10 again, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. Now I'm going to add all those up, get the sum, and clean it up just a little bit. All right, let's add it up. I got 0 plus 0. I got 5 plus 5 plus 0 is 10, carry the 1. 1 plus 0 plus 7 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 5. 3 plus 5 plus 0 is 8. 4 plus 0, and then 3. Now, I want to determine how many decimal places I have here, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and I'm going to recognize the decimals. How many decimal places is in each part that we use to multiply together? This one actually has 3 decimal places. This one has 1. So that means I have a total of 4 decimal places I'm going to move. So I'm going to grab this decimal right here because it's seen as at the very end. And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. So my answer will be 348.5800. However, you may be expected not to put the zeros back there, but just depends on what the instructor or your or the application problem or whatever you're working with asks us for. All right. So now let's do division of decimals. Let's talk about division of decimals. So if I have, let's try this one. I have 45 divides 0.15. So whenever we divide with decimals, the one thing you cannot have is a decimal in the denominator. Whenever I read this division, I have the numerator, which is the top number, divides the bottom number, which is our denominator. This one cannot have a decimal in it. If it has one in it, we're going to have to move the decimal to the right, however many places it takes in order to make it a whole number. So let's grab it. I see that I got the decimal here. I'm going to go 1, 2. Oh, now I got a whole number. I have 15. All right. Whatever you did to one part of this equation, you have to do to the other part. So now I'm going to come back to the numerator and I'm going to grab it and go 1, 2, because I moved it 2 places to the right. We got to do the same here. It gives me 4,500. Now that's saying, if that decimal would have been in the numerator and not the denominator, we wouldn't have to make any changes. Does that make sense? What I'm saying is you cannot have it in the denominator, and if it's in the denominator, you've got to move it to the right, however many places it takes to make a whole number. And however many places you moved it, you're going to do the same thing to the numerator. So now that I have this, I can divide. I'm going to do long division. All right. So how many times will 15 go into 4? It won't. But how many times will it go into 45? Well, one way to look at it is 15 plus 15 is 30. Add 15 more, it's 45. So we know that 1, 2, 3 times it will go into 45. I'm going to put it above the 5 here. 3 times 15 is 45. 45 minus 45 is 0. Bring down this 0. 15 goes into 0, 0 times. Bring down this 0. 15 goes into 0, 0 times. So this gives me 300, and that is my answer.